think what else I want to get. Slacky. I'm trying to think what I want to get. That's why it's good to write down some scriptures. I really didn't have anything to a lesson as per se. I usually been just going on the spirit, on the spirit. Whatever the Lord, whatever precept comes to mind, what comes to mind when I'm out here, because it still makes me furious that brothers have been given this truth. I'm not too mad. I understand that it's their lot. I believe. But hey, man, the Lord just gives people as examples of who not to be. Okay. Let me get let me get Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So we understand that these times is coming. All right, if our forefathers went through it, we can go through it as well. All right, if they went out there to the highways and byways, in season, out of season, we can do it as well. 70 AD is pretty much going to relive itself all over again. Seeing what our people went through back in the day. Seeing that some of the prophets got thrown into prison. Some of the prophets got killed. But hey, we still reaching for that crown of glory, We still want that crown of glory. So reading what our forefathers went through, hey, best believe we want that crown of glory as well. All right. So like there was a scripture that I wanted. Let me get Romans 12:1. It's like it. I beseech you, therefore, brother, by the mercies of power, that you present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto power, which is your reasonable service. So that's why we come out here to the highways and byways, because it's our reasonable service. It's your reasonable service, You think about our Lord, dealing with all that hell, getting mad at our people coming up against him, bucking up against him, not believing that he was the Messiah, ultimately being put to death because they chose Barabbas over him. It's our reasonable sacrifice to come out here and preach this word. Okay? And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Okay? When you get into this truth, you're not being conformed to this world. You're not getting those shape-ups, lining up your beard like that. Not trying to look like the world. You come out here boldly, standing boldly for the name of Yahweh Shema Shah. And people are going to look at you crazy for that, but it is what it is. Your story's going to be told. Lord willing that you endure to the end and you get that crown of glory, your story's going to be told. Okay? Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may be proved what is good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh Shema Shah. Okay? Because you get reproved. You get built up in the spirit. And you follow the right brothers, apostles and elders, and the brothers on down. You follow them. They're a good example of real men. How to be wise men. You start looking up words. You start to be sophisticated in this truth. You become one of the wisest men on the earth. Realizing that what they teach you in school, because now they're teaching homosexuality in some of these schools. They're trying to take out slavery, saying that, in certain parts of the country that slavery didn't existed, or people got paid slavery or something like that. We looking up stuff, and we realizing what is the truth. We don't just take every man's word for it. We look up the scriptures ourselves as well. We take time to read, take time to study, get built up. And we do the things which is pleasing unto the Lord, so we get that crown of glory. Okay? Some of us had that zeal, like I said earlier, that zeal of Yahweh Shema Shah, but not according to knowledge. Matter of fact, let's get Romans 10:2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. Okay, not according to knowledge. So guess what? The Lord had to build you up. The Lord had to wake you up out of your dry bones. Okay? For they being ignorant of power, righteousness, and going about to establish their own righteousness, and have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of power. So some of those brothers that didn't humble themselves, I know a couple in my walk, some of my friends, people in the world, they have a zeal for the Lord, but not according to knowledge. And then the real man of the Lord try to give you this knowledge, and you're not submitting yourself unto this real knowledge. Okay? You're believing in what your pastor preaching. Or you may not even, I know some brothers that don't believe what the pastor is preaching, but they still have a zeal for Yahweh Shema Shah. But it's still not according to knowledge. They still eating that pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. I have a friend, I love him dearly. Love him dearly. But hey, they most likely ain't gonna make it. Or they may make it, I don't know. But, when you tell somebody the truth and they get it for a little while, and they fall back to their old ways, start eating that pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, there's nothing that you can do with that brother, man. He still got the zeal for the Lord, but there's nothing that you can do for him. When words can't teach you, adversity will. So adversity is going to teach a lot of people in these last days that what the men of the Lord been out there saying is going to come to pass. All right? Let me see. Let me get Romans 10:13. Let's start right there. All right? Because dudes are still calling on the name of Jesus Christ and all that. So, Romans 10:13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Okay? His name ain't Jesus. His name ain't God. God's the title. All right? His name is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai. Yahweh being the Father, which means He is or He exists. Yahweh Shah meaning He's the deliverer. He saves. Okay? Ba'ashem meaning in the name. Okay? We praise Him in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai. Okay? But brothers don't get that. Brothers don't get it. Only the elect is going to get it. He manifests His name unto His servants. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. John 17:6. I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word. Okay? So the Lord, as you go down in verse 9, which I'll go ahead and read it, I pray for them, I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. Okay? And all mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them. Okay, so He manifested His name unto His elect. Yahweh Shai is the professor. Okay? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai is the professor. It's like, hey man, my name is this. My name is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai. And only the elect is going to get that. Okay? Now you may have some other brothers that get it, but they're going to fall out. they still gonna have do whatever they want. Okay. We're not saying just because you know the name of the Lord means that you're gonna be saved. Because we understand that there's gonna be men that's gonna say, "Lord, Lord," and they still gonna take the chip, or they still gonna be destroyed. Okay. So it's about enduring to the end. It's about doing the work. Okay. It's about enduring to the end. It's about doing the work and doing this thing in truth and sincerity. Okay. Truth and sincerity, and not playing no games with your Lord. Because this thing that we in is not something that you play around with. Okay. This thing that we in is not something that you should be playing around with. All right. We're looking for salvation. We're looking for our household to be saved. Because we know some terrible times is coming. Romans 10:14. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? How shall they believe in him in whom they have not heard? Or how shall they hear without a preacher? So the Lord sends out his prophets out there to rightly divide the word of truth, to give you this truth, his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay? Because there's people out there. I met brothers out there, man. Dudes that don't even watch YouTube. And you got internet-only prophets that just sit down and stay on the internet. Well, there's people that's not on the internet like that. There's people that don't watch YouTube. And I met them. And you guess what? You give them the truth. How can they hear without a preacher? All right? And how shall they preach except they be sent? Okay? Because the Lord got to wake you up out of your sleep. He got to send you. All right? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings and good things. Okay? This word, knowing that you're Israelite, getting built up in the spirit, it's a beautiful thing, man. Knowing that the kingdom of heaven is for you. Knowing that you're going to be a ruler. Okay? Knowing that you're going to have many wives. Knowing that you're going to have many sons and daughters. Knowing that everything that you wish you had on this side of the earth, it's like you. Knowing things that you wish you had on this side of it's like you. It was calling me, but knowing things that you wish you had on this side of the earth, your businesses, riches, wealth, and she gonna get that tenfold upon tenfold upon tenfold upon tenfold. I mean, so many tenfolds that you can't even count in the kingdom of heaven. It's the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, but you just gotta work for it. You just gotta give your body as a living sacrifice. Okay? You just gotta give your body as a living sacrifice. It's like y'all, people calling me, so I gotta hang up the number. All right, anyways, back to it. Let me read verse 15 again. How shall they preach? It's like, and how shall they preach except they be sent? As it written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings and good things. Okay? It's a beautiful thing that the Lord called you to preach this word. Okay? But they have not all obeyed the gospel. For as Elijah said, "For who have believed our report? So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the words of power." So you gotta send it. You gotta pray. Go out there and preach it, man, so the people will hear it, and then they get woken up out of their deep sleep, you know. But as I said, have they heard not? Yes, really, the sound went into all the earth, and the words unto the ends of the world. Okay, words unto the ends of the world. So, you know, that's regeneration right there, because we understand that the apostles and the elders back then, some of them died. They didn't go around the whole world preaching this word. This word got sent through the internet. Okay, that's when the brothers started waking up around the world, across the four corners of the earth, because of the internet. All right, I got woken up through the internet. You know, especially being down here. You ain't got brothers standing tall, standing boldly for the name of Yahweh Shema Shah. They preaching in the name of Jesus Christ. Or they not even out here in season, out of season. I believe you got IUIC. I just don't see those brothers. I just don't see them down here. But I believe you got them down here. But other than that, you ain't got nobody else down here preaching the name of Yahweh Shema Shah. So a lot of people is going to be confounded. A lot of people is going to be taken away. You know? Got the groups that people think the Lord is really, really dealing with them because they have the biggest group. They have the fancy clothes, you know, the shiny. They're looking all shiny, well dressed. And people think that the Lord is dealing with them. Or they got the biggest barbecue. Oh, they got a ISBK with the biggest barbecue, inviting everybody. No matter if you know you're an Israelite or not. People are like, oh man, that look good. And they're putting seasoning on their Passover meat, knowing that they shouldn't be doing it. You know, the Lord's just doing his sifting. So, you know, as I see it, the elect is going to go through this camp, and the ones that he wants is going to go through, you know, these other camps over there, you know. But hey, man, you know, it's a beautiful thing that the Lord called you to go out here and preach his word. You know, if you're not, you know, called to preach his word, to still do the things that is pleasing unto the Lord. You know, let's get my favorite. Let's get Sirach 19:19. Okay? The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is doctrine of life. Okay, you get woken up out of your dead sleep, out of your dead state. You're like, oh man, I can't do that no more. You know, I remember as a child, you know, I would eat shrimp. You know, I used to love eating shrimp. Used to love it. You know, I didn't know any better because, you know, grew up in a Christian household, and Christians preach that you can eat whatever you want. But it's clearly in the scriptures, when you read with understanding, that the Lord didn't clean everything, man. The Lord has every animal for a purpose, okay? The shrimp, crab, and lobster is to clean the oceans. They're bottom feeders, okay? The shrimp is like the same family as the cockroach. And you niggas won't eat a cockroach, but you sure gobble down some shrimp. Put some butter on it and all that stuff. You know, I used to love that stuff, but I ate it out of ignorance. As I started getting older, you know, before I came into the truth, you know, I would still eat it. You know, before I came into the truth, I would eat it, and then I get an allergic reaction out of it. You know, I remember that day I was with my cousin, and we went to the movies. And before we went to the movies, we was at this hibachi restaurant, and we was eating the shrimp and all that stuff. You know, it tasted good. I ain't gonna lie, it tasted good. And then I think it was a hibachi restaurant. Could have been that. And then I went to the movies, and oh man, the Lord got me good, man. The Lord got me good. Cause man, I was throwing up. I believe I was throwing up, and I was on the toilet. Man, I was a wreck. I was a wreck. And I think I ate it a couple more times. I was like, yeah, the Lord's getting me. I can't eat this stuff no more, man. Can't eat it no more. And now when the Lord woke me up to the truth, then I realized, okay, this stuff is unclean. You know, the Lord was just getting me because that stuff is unclean. I'm an Israelite. We're not supposed to be eating that stuff, you know? The Lord is chastising you because you're not supposed to be eating that stuff. So now you get an allergic reaction to it, or I get sick, I start throwing up, have to go to the bathroom, you know? But that's nothing but the Lord, man. When he wakes you up out of your dead state and you start keeping the law and statute and commandments and you start to do the things which please him, that's what you get in that tree of life, you know? So let's continue. Sirach 19 and 19. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is doctrine of life. And they that do the things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. So you do the things that which are pleasing him. All right? You're not having that do with thy will spirit. Okay? People that have that do with thy will spirit, the Lord gonna take them out, you know, because his truth doesn't bear witness with them. They hear that you can't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster anymore. They look at you crazy, man. But when you tell them that the Lord's gonna kill them because of that, you know, they look at you even crazier. But it's all good because the elect is gonna understand it. The elect is gonna do that which is pleasing to him, you know. That's why we need Yahweh Shem Shah, man. That's why we ready to get up out of this captivity. I'm tired of seeing my people in such a low estate. You brothers started seeing your people in such a low estate. You know? That's why we out here being a reprover to our people, man. Being a reprover. Preaching this word. You know? We want that crown of life. We want the Lord to have mercy on our households, you know. We don't want the Lord to be laughing at us. We want the Lord to have that spirit upon us, that we don't take that mark of the beast no matter what happens. That we don't take the mark of the beast, you know, when we put into a lower state. That we don't do that, you know. Matter of fact, let's get Sirach 2. Okay. Sirach 2 and 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua, prepare thy soul for temptation. Okay? Because you may have some young brothers that come into this thing, man. You know, I know when I first came into this thing, you heard that you couldn't eat pork anymore. You know, I already stopped eating shrimp because the Lord already got me for that before I came into the truth. But I remember, man, I had to stop eating that pork. You know, I'm glad the Lord had mercy upon me. He could have took me out. You know? Because the last time I ate pork too, I got sick. Oh, man, my stomach was hurting and all that stuff, man. But I'm glad that I'm not addicted to that stuff anymore. You know, I'm glad he had mercy upon me. I'm glad that he saw me through. Because he could have took me out, you know? That's why we need Yahweh Shem Shah, man. Temptation, that mark of the beast when that time comes. Are you going to take it? Just so you can prolong your life? You going to do that? Or you not going to take it and endure to the end, man? And Lord willing, you get that crown of glory. The Lord sees your sacrifice. Okay? That's what we want, man. The Lord to see our sacrifice and to have mercy upon us. Because it's already written that the elect is not going to take part of that mark of the beast. The elect is not going to worship this beast system. What I said earlier about the dogs knowing the truth more than everybody else, man. That's spiritual. I said you got the Edomites, they walking around like they don't know nothing. You know, whether you got this man's dog, he keep looking back here. You know, the dogs want to hear the truth. The dogs know the truth. All right, verse 2, set that heart aright and constantly endure. All right? Make sure that you don't play no games with the Lord, man. You know? Like I said, when you especially come into this thing, man, you have to put off that old man. You're giving your body as a living sacrifice. You want to do those things which is pleasing unto the Lord. You know? You don't want to eat that pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster anymore. You don't want to do that. You want to do the things which is pleasing to Yahweh Shema Shah. You know? And make no haste in the time of trouble. So when they tell you get that vaccine, when they tell you get that mark of the beast, you know, I was watching Elder Manak the Zakba's video that he posted up today about Junior Ohana not being the man of the Lord. All right, and it's clear as day. It is clear as day that we can see that he's not the man of the Lord. All right, it's clear as day that we can see that he's not the man of the Lord, because he's telling his congregation, he's telling his people to go take that vaccine. But it's obviously that he's deceiving the simple. But the wise, you guess what the wise is going to do? They're going to look up stuff. And I'm glad Elder posted up that video, man. Because you can clearly see that when you take a vaccine, you have people being paralyzed. All right, you had people being paralyzed. You had what happened else in the video? It was taking you had crap. What else happened? Matter, body parts and stuff from fetuses. That's right. So it's taking parts from the fetuses and putting them inside the vaccine. And you had mercury in the vaccine. So all these things that you injecting it into yourself to get this vaccine, just so you can be so-called protected from this virus. All right, you putting all these stuff that you're not supposed to be putting in your body, that the Lord deems not lawful for you. You know, matter from other humans inside your body. Mercury, all this stuff that's going to give you Alzheimer's, make you stupid, make you dumb, you know, later in life. You know, it's all Esau Edom's agenda. You know, that's why I'm glad Yahweh Shema Shah woke me up to this truth. Thank you, Yahweh Shema Shah, that he woke you up to this truth, man. You know, I was always, before I came into the truth, I was against the vaccines. It was already in my spirit. I was against the vaccines already for doing my initial research. But now it's concrete and clear that, hey, man, that's something that you don't play with, man. You don't be telling your congregation to take the vaccine. You don't be telling your people to take the mark of the beast. That's why they in this thing for filthy lucre, man. Okay? They in this thing for filthy lucre. Get that money. That's why the Lord put them evil spirits on them. Matter of fact, let me get 2 Timothy 4. Ooh. I'm used to, I got so used to having my stand at my other site. Right now I just got my poster board. So bear with me. Because I'm waiting for my shoes to be shipped in. That's why I'm waiting for the kingdom as well, man. I'm waiting for the kingdom as well because, I got to order shoes online. My feet so big. I hate it, man. That's why I'm waiting for the kingdom. I already have, if I don't even want to wear shoes, don't wear shoes. Waiting for that spiritual power, Got to buy shoes online. Shoes that I have right now, they hurt. Oh, man. But hey, that's part of the truth. That's part of the word. You know, giving your body as a living sacrifice. Okay. But anyways, 2 Timothy 4. Let's start at verse 2. All right. Preach the word, be instant in season and out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. So to be a reprover, to rebuke, all right, to give our people this true doctrine, because this doctrine that's been taught by the apostles, that's been given by Yahweh Shemashah to apostles and elders, is doctrine of life. Okay, this is doctrine of life. Okay, verse 3: for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. So you got that brother, well not brother, you got them demons preaching that you can use magic mushrooms, DMT, psychedelic drugs. Okay? And brothers bigging them up for that. Got a General Yana telling his congregation that you can take a vaccine. And when you do your research on the vaccines, you know, they got all that iodine, I believe iodine or mercury, matter from, you know, body parts and matter from fetuses. You know? Those are clearly stuff that we ain't supposed to be injecting into our bodies. You know? Later down the line, you get Alzheimer's, start to become retarded or you know, paralyzed like that woman in that video, you know? Slocky is starting to rain, so let me get my umbrella. There we go. Yep, that's better. That's better. Let me push this in a little closer. Let me get rained on. But hey, man. That's why the word says, preach the word. Let's read it again. 2 Timothy 4 and 2. Preach the word, be instant in season and out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. Okay? This is us giving our body as a living sacrifice unto Yahweh Shemashah. Okay? He died a horrible death so that we can have life. So that we can come out here and preach this word. Alright? Just bear with me, y'all. Hopefully y'all can see me, but yeah, preach the word in season, out of season. But brothers don't want to do that. They don't want to give their bodies as a living sacrifice. They want to play with their Lord. They want to be internet prophets, you know? The Lord said, go out there and preach His word. You see Apostle Tahar and the other apostles. They've been preaching His word 30 plus years. 30 plus years. They still out there on the highways and byways. Every Saturday, or if not, you know, a Sunday or whenever. But pretty much every week. Every week they out there. Every week. Those are some real brothers that the Lord gave us to follow. To be a good example. That way, you don't fall out the truth. You have no excuse. You a younger brother. I'm a younger brother. I have no excuse. You know? To come out here and preach His word. If older men could come out here 30 plus years and preach His word and still stand tall, still stand boldly for the name of Yahweh Shemashah, I have no excuse. Those other brothers have no excuse. Brothers that been down here for 10 years and it's truth. They have no excuse to come out here and do this work. Junior Yohana has no excuse. I don't think he's even out there on the highways and byways preaching this word, man. You know? As your leader, so is the congregation. So that's why you see ISUK, they're not even out here preaching His word in season and out of season like the word says. They're not feeding the sheep. They're not feeding the flock. All right? For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned into fables. So this is what's happening, man. Turn into fables. Listening to their so-called teachers, and not the real men of the Lord. All right? The real men of the Lord is not telling you to take psychedelic drugs, to take magic mushrooms. All right? We're not telling you to take that. We're telling you that Yahweh Shem Shai is your power. And if you're doing the work and you're doing the things which is pleasing unto him, you endure to the end, he's going to take care of you. You know? But watch thou in the things, endure afflictions. Okay, you got to endure in this truth. All right? I'm waiting for my new shoes to come in. These shoes are hurting my feet right now. But hey, this is my reasonable service unto Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay? Do the work of an evangelist. Make full proof of thy ministry. So make full proof of this ministry, man. Do this work. Okay, we have no excuses. If older men could come out here and preach this word and not be just internet prophets, you know, then we can give our body as a living sacrifice and preach this word, you know. So, hey, man, I thank Yahweh Shem Shai for waking me up to this truth. And Lord's will, you know, all the brothers endure to the end. That's really in this, you know. That way we be you know, the apostles and elders are a great example, and then you become a great example. And then other brothers start following you. You know, no matter if you're preaching by yourself or not, you know, you still waking up brothers across the whole planet, really. You know, like I said, on my other page, you know, had a sincere brother asking questions. You know, people asking questions. You know, the people that the Lord wants is waking up. You know? We're here not to be foolish virgins. We're here to preach this truth. Okay? We're here to give you this truth. No questions asked. Matter of fact, I'm going to just use my phone. Get this over here. Yeah, we're not here to be foolish virgins, man. All right, let's get Matthew 25. Let's start at verse 1. See if I can lift this up just a little bit. All right, this is Slakia. It's just there. There we go. All right, this is Matthew 25:1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. So you want to be of the wise virgins. You don't want to be the foolish virgins.